Donald Trump wants the public focused on anything other than the Jeffrey Epstein scandal. He's desperate for distractions, whether it's MAGA media shouting, "Look over there," or his allies in Congress trying to spark another culture war. But the opposite is happening. MAGA podcasters are talking about this issue. Marjorie Taylor Greene is openly clashing with Trump, and even Melania's latest move has brought more attention to the scandal, blowing it wide open. We're going to break it all down. But first, if you enjoy our work, please leave a like on this video and subscribe. It really helps support the channel. Now, before we get into how Melania's move has reignited Trump's Epstein scandal, let's start with the intimidation tactics coming straight from the White House. Proof of just how panicked they really are. Senator Chris Murphy explained it right here.
So if you didn't know it already, now we definitely know it. The fix is in on the Epstein files. Today, the Trump White House is bullying Republicans in the House of Representatives, trying to make sure that they don't sign on to this resolution that would compel the disclosure of the files. You saw over the course of August how they are treating Ghislaine Maxwell in a way that suggests they are trying to get her to change her story or to tell lies about what really happened. Listen, the story is familiar. Donald Trump exists to protect him and his wealthy friends from their corruption and their illegality. And that is clearly what's going on here with the cover-up of what happened with Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. The fact that the Trump administration is doing so much work today, literally doing hand-to-hand combat in the House of Representatives, trying to stop Republican members of the House from signing on to this resolution, it tells you that there is something we need to know, something we need to find out, and now.
When Donald Trump is trying to bully Marjorie Taylor Greene into silence, the very voice he's often elevated within MAGA, you know we've hit a new low. But here's the thing. He can't silence Marjorie Taylor Greene, Thomas Massie, or even Ro Khanna. These lawmakers across party lines are speaking out. And Trump can't spin this scandal away either. How do you call it a hoax when survivors are standing in front of the Capitol telling their stories? You can't. It doesn't land, and people aren't buying it. Especially after what happened yesterday, which sets the stage for us to talk about Melania's role in all of this.
Speaker, I'm just returning from hearing the survivors tell their stories, and I was so deeply moved. This is not a political issue. This is an issue of 14-year-olds and 15-year-olds who told the stories of how they were solicited by Jeffrey Epstein and raped and assaulted. And then they went to the police, and the police didn't do anything because Jeffrey Epstein knew rich people, because he knew presidents, because he knew donors. This is not a Republican issue. This is not a Democratic issue. Marjorie Taylor Greene was there speaking out for the survivors. Nancy Mace was in tears because she's a survivor when she heard their stories. Lauren Boebert has said we need to speak up for the survivors. This is an issue that could actually bring this country together to say that a nation in which rich and powerful men can rape young girls without consequence is a nation that has lost its moral and spiritual soul. We can fight about a lot of things. We shouldn't fight about this. We need 2 more Republicans to sign the discharge petition. I have a pretty simple rule. Most people don't understand all the jargon of Congress, but the survivors very clearly said they want the Massie Khanna bill. They want it for closure. They want it for the release of the files. You know what the irony here is? President Trump could actually be the person who does good in this. He can still change his mind. Speaker Johnson is a true Christian. I know him. I know his family. He's a good Christian man. He can be for bringing justice. I really don't understand why we're fighting over this. Why don't we do something good for this country? Why don't we stand with these survivors and show this nation we're still capable of coming together when it matters for truth and justice. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Donald Trump is desperate to distract from the fact that he can't escape the Epstein scandal. Survivors are speaking out, Republicans are breaking ranks, and the pressure is mounting. So he's reaching for a new distraction, something the MAGA media can spin into a puff piece. Enter Melania Trump with her brand new AI initiative. Now, Melania has no background in artificial intelligence, and the rollout went about as poorly as you'd expect, especially once reports surfaced about her controversial AI-themed dinner. But before we get into how that move has actually made the Epstein scandal even worse for Trump, let's start with what she said at the White House, which raised more than a few eyebrows.
We are living in a moment of wonder, and it is our responsibility to prepare children in America. Cars now steer themselves through our cities. Robots hold steady hands in the operating room. And drones are redefining the future of war. Innovations of first-generation humanoids, factory automation, and autonomous vehicles have surged from private sector investment. Every one of these advancements is powered by AI. The robots are here. Our future is no longer science fiction. Data from the Bureau of Economic Analysis shows that AI innovation is clearly boosting America's GDP growth.
Trump snubs old pal Musk by refusing to invite him to White House Tech Summit. Alongside Melania's new initiative, Donald Trump is set to host an artificial intelligence summit at the White House, with 24 of the world's top tech CEOs, with one notable exception. Practically every big name in tech has been invited to the inaugural event at the newly renovated Rose Garden, which includes an event on AI hosted by Melania Trump and a dinner hosted by the First Lady as well. The invite list obtained by The Hill includes lots of tech CEOs, but of course no Elon. Notably absent from the list, attending Melania's big dinner is Elon Musk, who has been persona non grata at the White House for months since the epic meltdown over Trump's big beautiful bill, which Musk included accusing the president of being in the Epstein files. And recently, Donald Trump has described his estranged former first buddy Elon Musk as someone with 80% super genius and 20% problems. So Melania hosts her big AI dinner, an event she clearly has no expertise in, meant to be a fluff piece for the White House to create the illusion of progress. But the reality is very different. Notably absent from the guest list, Elon Musk. And that absence is a reminder that Donald Trump is still feuding with his former ally, advisor, and major donor, all tied back to the Epstein files. Instead of distracting the public, Melania's event only highlighted the ongoing rift between Trump and Musk, keeping the Epstein story in the spotlight. And no matter how hard Trump tries, he simply cannot escape it. But Epstein conspiracies aren't the only ones creating headaches for the White House. Today, RFK Jr. testified before the Senate, and Senator Elizabeth Warren directly confronted his false claims, calling them out in a powerful exchange.
Is up right now, Secretary Kennedy. Will you tell America that all adults and all children over 6 months of age are eligible to get a COVID booster at their local pharmacy today?
Anybody can get the booster.
I'm sorry?
Anybody can get it, Senator.
Anybody. So you're saying that is now the official rule of HHS. Anybody is eligible to get a booster by just walking into the pharmacy.
It's not recommended for healthy people.
No. If you don't recommend, then the consequence of that in many states is that you can't walk into a pharmacy and get one. It means insurance companies don't have to cover the $200 or so cost. as Senator Dr. Cassidy said, you are effectively denying people vaccines.
We're not going to recommend a product for which there's no clinical data for that indication. Is that what I should be doing?
What you should be doing is honoring your promise that you made when you were looking to get confirmed in this job.
You're going like
and
this.
That is, you promised that you would not take away vaccines from anyone who wanted them. You just changed the classification of the COVID vaccine.
I'm not taking them away from people, Senator.
It takes it away if you can't get it from your pharmacist.
Well, most Americans are going to be able to get it from their pharmacy for free. Most Americans will be able to get it from their pharmacy for free.
The question is everyone who wants it. That was your promise,
No, I didn't. I never promised that I was going to recommend products with which there is no indication.
When you said...
And I know you've taken $855,000 from pharmaceutical companies, Senator.
Did you hold up a big sign saying that you were lying when you said that? Because you are the one who said you would not take them away. Now, Senator Kennedy,
I'm not taking them away from anybody.
Secretary,
you want me to indicate a product for which there is no clinical data?
Senator,
is that what you want?
Secretary Kennedy, you said you wouldn't, and now you did.
I'm not taking them away. Everybody can get access to them.
No, they can't walk into a pharmacy the way they could last month and get access.
It depends on the states.
A year ago,
but they can still get it. Everybody can get it. Everybody can get it, Senator.
So look, let's move on. You clearly are taking away vaccines. I've seen the list for what's coming up next, and that is the agenda for the next CDC vaccine panel. And first up is ratifying your COVID actions. Second is hepatitis B is on the agenda. So should Americans expect you to take away hepatitis vaccine access as well, even though you promised not to?
As I said, I'm not taking vaccines away from anybody.
Okay, same answer, right? You're just going to deny that when people can't get access, that you're not taking it away. Then let me ask you, is that the same game you're going to play with me?
You want me to recommend every product in the world without any clinical trial data?
RFK Jr.'s Make America Healthy Again brand is especially troubling because it preys on people who believe he's an honest voice, when in reality, he's not. Like so many others in this administration, RFK Jr. operates as a grifter. His goal is to profit off parents worried about their kids and people who simply want to live healthier lives. Now, he's not wrong in identifying a real problem. America faces an epidemic of illness fueled by pharmaceutical companies that exploit patients, food monopolies that strip nutrition from our diets, and a sick care system that focuses on treatment instead of prevention. Those are legitimate issues. But the solution isn't ivermectin, horse pills, or RFK Jr.'s conspiracies. And that's what makes his pitch so dangerous, because people who genuinely need help, who are searching for real answers, end up pulled into his web of misinformation, ultimately putting themselves and their children at risk. That's why it's so important that we call out RFK Jr., and that's exactly what we're going to keep doing on this show. If you want to support that, please hit subscribe, leave a like, and if you've made it this far, drop a blue heart in the comments. And until next time, I will see you soon.